So I started on time. But literally 5 seconds after I hit the go live button, I got a message from an IRL friend about something time sensitive, so that's great. Murphy's Law of Streaming. It's apparently what this is. So yeah, let me think. What did we do last time? A lot happened. We got our gun back. I said I was gonna dodge a bullet. Got shot. Got shot anyway. Big shootout in the main plaza. Is that what you call it? Like right outside Whirling in Rags. 2, maybe 3 of the Hardy Boys are dead. All of the mercenaries are dead. I think. We still don't know who shot the original victim. At this point, we are thinking that it was a shot from afar, from the island that's like way out north of everything else. The only reason we have this suspicion is because of like bullet paths, but it's also like, what's the odds of someone out there being able to land a shot from so far away? We already met a guy and killed him who has a sniper. So the odds that there are 2 snipers in the same story? I mean, it is a work of fiction, so who knows, but might be a bit weird. So it's also my understanding that now that we're here, we got to that island. Let me pull up the map. We're on this island up here. It's my understanding that now that we're here, we only really have enough fuel in like the boat that we borrowed for a single trip, so this is it. We're here. Even white checks that we encounter here, we might as well treat them as red checks because we're not going to get a chance to like come back and try them again later. Oh yeah. And this stuff from when we met with the redhead, the lady. Ruby, that's her name, that's right. Apparently, before we lost our memory, we were a peon of La Puta Madre. Which, if I remember my Spanish correctly, it's like bitch mother or something. Yeah, apparently we were in their pocket. But we're not now. Unless we are, and we don't know it, somehow. I don't know how that would work out. Also, I've got tea, so you might hear like this little clinking around. Oh, it's like peaking the mic. Oh, I didn't realize it was that loud. Oopsie. Stirring that up a little bit. Yeah, there's that. We did meet with Ruby. She ruined our bit rate. I don't think we're ever gonna get this. If we do, it's gonna be like, maybe we find the crowbar here so that we can get the thing out of the fridge back in the building to take back to the computer nerd, and maybe she can help us with that. I don't really remember. Anyway, we're here now. Seagull. Wonder if he's got anything to say. Nothing new.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Ah, yes, so it seems. For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain. From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
Seems like we can travel this way, but I'll go up here first. Oh yeah, they also got shot in the leg, so I'm not supposed to be running, but what's Mazut? Oh. We're gonna cause an explosion here later, aren't we?
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea. The flock of quail departs, now more than 100 meters away, 102, 105. On the islet, there is almost no wind, just the light movement of air through the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline, long dried leaves chafing against each other, like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of some major work, of great importance to the few who attend.
Yes?
This is where a lesser man would stop to think about the pain shooting up his right leg and into his groin. Not you. You're concentrated on how.
I have. Is that why we're stopping?
The lieutenant nods in silence. A silent hiss. Sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree. The faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand. The low tide filtered through its grains. A bird tending to its feathers. A low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, through its ancient slits and cracks, resonating, hollow. A big building. Air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Absolute silence. Reeds motionless.
Below the
Bulrushes
silence.
motionless. A jitter. A sound impatient to happen, but not yet in this world. You hear some kind of limb fidget, producing an imperceptible tick. No, it's just your imagination. You can't hear such things.
I wonder if all this is connected. Probably can't get down there, yeah. So our only option is either to go all the way back, or we do this. Oh, this geometry is not what I thought it was. The stairs have collapsed. I guess we have to go around this way. Wait, is that me? With my beard?
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired. Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout.
Oh, that stuff in the barrels outside.
The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter, long and cold.
If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator.
Downstairs, somewhere?
A hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher. Someone who has basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy.
The wind outside picks up suddenly.
Did you think
with
that was a
faint howl.
philosophy question?
Inside, it's warm.
What does this mean? I guess we just say a lot of bullshit, so... The wires go through the stairs. I guess it might connect to this? I don't see wires like over here of that color.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracal blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses, no longer able to hear yourself speak.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
No.
Yes, anytime. If you need a rest later, it's okay by me.
You don't have to be a hero.
We have 3 health, we're fine.
Yes?
What? I didn't mean to talk to you.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized. Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures, among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories. You find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp, light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Some random electrical engineering book.
Someone's made themselves a home.
It's a white check, but we're not coming back here, so let's check our gear. Conceptualization. I don't know if I have gear for that. Do I? Oh, look at that. I have 1. It is kind of weird that changing my clothes is what gives me more like mental capabilities. Oh, I should also check that I don't have many minuses, although I don't remember seeing any minuses to blues. As I say that, minus visual calculus, that's right.
Soft covers,
Okay.
serialized fantastique, and detective stories.
83%.
Animal Adventure. Not that you can
What the
tell.
fuck?
This is a digest of someone who's dead bored. Most of it is for
Those
entertainment.
snake eyes.
Fittingly right next to the radio.
The clothes didn't even matter.
Maybe it's a little old-fashioned. There's a nude mag. More than that,
Jesus.
you can't say.
Good thing I've got... Man, I really don't want to spend this already. Fuck it, just do it.
Soft
Try
covers,
again,
serialized
92%.
fantastique. Oh yeah.
Surely
Other
we
than
won't
that,
snake eyes
there is
twice.
A rather
There you
extensive
go.
collection of critical theory, that is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly like reading.
I have no comments. Wow. Let's take the moralist route.
Ouzia. Humanitarian sciences. Stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Ravachol West anymore.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him. Wasn't there some in the communist students' room?
Well, yes. That one student did.
The little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous entertainment covering them.
Again, I am not a philosopher, but whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interests.
Interesting.
Empathy scarf. Hand-eye coordination shirt. I'll take that too. I think I had a hand-eye coordination jacket. Yeah, perfect. Whoa. Whoa. We're stealing all his shit, but what's the use of having money if you live in a place like this? Oh, that's all the way back up there. Okay. This was once an armament rest, okay. Oh. Okay, there's a door here too. Oh, hopefully we'll find a crowbar.
Green paint flicks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
The console of an antique computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out, they terminate here. Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. Sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function as a radio computer. Nothing happens. The dial slides under the glass, silently. You make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words, Feld Insula, are written on the band.
Insular. This is an off-air radio computer, I believe, used for military communications. We need to restore power before using this, officer. The generator, it didn't look like there was fuel in it. We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it.
The boat engine.
But if we get the boat and if we use that, we can't go back. Stupid interfacing.
The console looks on as you talk, mute and unpowered.
Oh. Water. These things are cool. These things that look like jacks. I don't know how useful they are all spread out like this, but when they're like stacked up like this, they're good for breaking the water that hits the island. What's this?
A strange
Oh
feeling
no,
looking at the
Inland
water.
Empire.
Maybe you should just wander off with a bottle in your hand. Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth. Yes, 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 yes. No, no, we're not starting with that. Not now. Not this time.
Thank you, Volition. Saved me from myself. Oh. Okay. It's a video game. You.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window. The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square
Hell
in
yeah,
front of
visual
you,
calculus.
like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar. A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B. The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10. The doomed commercial area.
Ooh, that building.
The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. You see a small fleck of white on the rooftop, the upstairs window of Glazier's room, in the snow, reflecting light.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
More than that,
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
cheek against a cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
I think we have it. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest. Why? We don't go everywhere in a 1,000-meter radius of the crime scene. That's not procedure. Don't beat yourself up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
The lieutenant pauses. Regret comes over him.
We will make up for it. Here. I feel it. Where?
He does not answer, just nods. With his back hunched, he looks around once more and says he feels uncomfortable suddenly.
We should move now.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Man, this is gross.
The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri.
I may have been wrong when I said it wasn't important. This means the same person could have visited both locations. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside, though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also be a smoking spot.
Huh? Oh. Thanks for the meds. Oh, there's fuel in there. Nice. I was expecting I'd still have to, like, go fill it up. Someone's watching. Oh no! And they've got a sniper. What's this? What the? How did I not see that earlier? Let's gonna look at this again.
Soft covers, cereal.
Okay. Let's do this.
This old cylindrical. The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
And before that was a really bad idea. I mean, if anything, we are definitely alerting the dude that we're here.
A
Oh
dim
well.
golden.
It's on.
Automatic boot.
I think, yes.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
Watch the guy be back there. Or watch like
A
Clausia be
sudden
back
wave
there.
of anxiety makes your skin crawl.
After you. So did I. Not back there, but I felt it since we came here. I don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire pit.
Okay. Walk slow. The game keeps telling me to walk slow, but walking slowly is so painfully slow. A rubber dinghy. Yo, it's the guy. Got my gun. Do I have my, should probably put my armor on. Oh, but that also ruins my hand-eye coordination shirt. Oh well. Better to have the armor, I think.
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp.
The what now? I can't hear you. I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position.
The position sounds like a hiding place.
Does he think he's still in a war?
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up. My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
I did. And you opened it. How? I should have burned that console down. Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
No.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated limb in the sand, he steers on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound, a strange sadness, like a song.
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
The present to be afraid and cold.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
Jacketed, military-grade ammunition, stable in flight, good for hitting something that's very, very far away.
As he speaks, he stresses every word. He's liking this.
Worn, personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it, sir?
No response from the old man. The plastic cape around his shoulders rustles in a small bout of wind. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession in time.
My name is Joseph Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago. How does anyone survive? I steal.
Now hold on there.
This is... Oh my god.
Supplies, vegetables.
When you live in a deserted island, what's
It's
the
life
point
of
of
a
trying to
dog,
talk
not a
economy
human
and shit?
being.
Systems that require involvement from other people.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in school.
TMI.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
We also have Druamine.
I have been running out of that stuff.
There's no way he could manage the pain without them. It's safe to say he is addicted to painkillers by now.
It's the little joys. The dark joke, a sunshiny day, morphine. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund. I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of I don't even know what. Inferno?
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on, more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsoff coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequencies dead. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just... So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Belmer Graves, right? I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however. The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground. I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
I do. They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
So many options. I feel like if I ask this first one, he's gonna say, I haven't been here for 43 years again, but I'll do it anyway.
43 years and 10 months.
Oh, is that how old Harry is?
It's too long. It's not how a human being should live. But I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't.
Oh.
He nods, but he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where it's morning, on Rue de Saint-Gislain, people are walking. The gas streetlights have already been switched off. Further inland, in Jamrock, the streets come alive with workers. Men, women, children rushing. Muddy avenue after muddy avenue. The temperature is rising. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects giant letters across the plaza mosaic in dark red government-marked heavy fuel.
Oh, he saw that, huh? Our mural.
Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smelling of petroleum. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting. For her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution. Always. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do. I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too. You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took for reaction to take hold. Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men. May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic. The combined might of international capital, all at once, all the greed and terror in the world, tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
A terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
Nah. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland. In the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
Airships, multi-rotored airships used in the landing.
Aerostatics. The landing had started. I climbed out into hell. There were ships all above, hissing, whirling, and men pouring out. The chain was submerged, so I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too. Shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Some kind of great terror, worse than you've ever seen.
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know that the bourgeois are not human. I had to fight it. I had to never stop. It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world. Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people Deathblow? You don't know. You haven't seen it. Iblis. The black-eyed angel. You're with the RCM. The coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans le Monde. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit.
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
He nods slowly, then another tremor.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
Composure. I don't think I have much that helps with that.
I've used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
Interesting choice. I'm definitely not doing 2. Just for the fact that I doubt that he knew Crenell or whatever. 1 or 3? I think 1 is the safer choice. 3 is like, if it turns out he doesn't actually want to tell me, then we might still have to lead him into saying it.
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball.
Okay.
now.
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me. I'm wrong all the time.
Fucking suggestion. Don't listen to me. Okay, this seems weird because I feel like, how would he know anything about the security contractor?
The who now?
Yeah, exactly.
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it. You're in.
Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
Tear into him. Pile it on him. Everything you got on him. The more, the better. The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You have been here a long time, Mr. Dross. Too long. You need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. Jumping hoops for the Liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? .46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it. Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
Like a marionette on some invisible string. This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little more. Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and Maybells on Clausia's balcony.
Oh. They mentioned white flowers, but I didn't realize those are Maybells.
And nowhere else. Nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up. You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no modern soul. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit.
Show me the souls, please, Mr. Doras.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is called Sensorique, and the size is 42 to 44. These are not the unusual horizontal patterned soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance. You've almost got him. Just a last little push.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away. They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May, before they ruined it.
South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green, with white flowers in white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may. Classier. With the victim.
There is a small tremble, looks like a smile, a crooked smile, yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer, armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. dripping with blood. Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from. You can coax it out of him. The lieutenant's preparing the ground.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
Helps him see all the shit.
And if you don't like it,
Click.
then you pull the trigger?
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
He will not stop now. These dialectical materialist types never do. Exploit it. You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
Composure. I want to do this check. 28% is really shit.
I ain't going.
Give me just a sec to change clothes. Composure. Composure. Minus composure. Is that all I have for composure, really? Just +2 total? I also feel like, just generally speaking, I've gone pretty far out of my way to get clothes.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
We'll try it. I think I have 2 level ups just stored up right now, so...
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit. He's clearly a drug user of the painkiller sort, prone to erratic hand gestures, and malnourished. But that's it. The moment passes, and you say,
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that. Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second. Writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
He wants to see her covered in blood, to punish her.
She practically breastfed that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her.
These lines are ridiculous.
The old man raises his gaze. Something glimmers in the corner of his black eye.
Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the Fell building on the coast? What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
And beautiful.
That, too.
How could you see what she looked like? You said it was dark.
The sun came up. Her hair was like cobwebs. She smoked more fags and snorted a line of whatever shit she was on right there. She needed it just to move. Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut. Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible. Well made, actually.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this. Did you take the documents?
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. Oh, I mean... I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks. And a body, hard and lean and bruised all over. Black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio. I'm not blind, am I?
It quickly comes to you.
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Everything in him fills with impossible longing, all at once.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip point knife. Like that, too? Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass. I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny. Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know. Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something. No. I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of our room on the floor, like she does sometimes, the day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
It's as if something put the thought there, to leave the flowers.
Oh, that was a tough check. Let's do it.
What do you mean, put? Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you.
A sudden pang of rage.
If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more. One more down.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Classier? I haven't seen her there for days.
Dude, if I say this, he'll probably like try and kill us, right?
Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Across the water, on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village, made of grey cinder block houses with Eternite roofs, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea. He's there, doing what exactly I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something. That's why we can't see him. Special Consultant Heidelstein is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interesting little place. Where? His voice trails off as the 3 walk down the jetty.
Why are they watching me?
As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification like a rotten tooth rising out of the water.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years? You could get more out of him. He likes talking.
Alright, 83%, surely.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. It's precisely what you could not see before. For a man who spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild. Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated. It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even. Not senile. Is it some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on.
No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this city.
You said you take painkillers.
I take them to cope with pain. The people of this city use painkillers because they have pain. Untreated illnesses, not enough money for a greedy doctor.
Are you sure about him being lucid? Maybe he's just affected by an extreme case of socialism.
Okay, rhetoric.
It's not a downer, rather an upper, judging by his snaps.
Like some kind of decadent rock star. No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course. Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. The familiar put of hatred. Detest pushes the cobwebs out of his eyes, pushes the melancholy aside. He relishes it.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house, stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst. Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that social democratic union and the farce of a social democrat who runs it. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins.
I like this. I agree. Fly larva in his container. Yep.
Intense, like animals. Like those boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cop parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too.
The old veteran?
Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon or Koyamoran. or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt Frisell is now dead. We did good when we pushed him under the horse car, until, in the 30s, those disco whores.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people. Might be worth investigating.
Syphilis is a disease Philip III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination. Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses.
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity with the union's top brass.
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one. That mobster toad couldn't run a shithouse. He has no political education. His twin, Edgar Clare, that one's been to one of those East Revachol universities. He talks a big game about uprising and alienation and so on.
Hey, imp.
First against the wall with him.
We found our culprit.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
I haven't approached anyone. I hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things. 20 years ago, neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then.
That's around the time the Clears came to power.
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzoff. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought. Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Okay, he didn't do the hang the man for them. But he's insinuating something.
Logic time. Wait. Oh, I can't leave. Fuck. It's a red check. Fuck. No. I've got a bunch of points. I've got 3 points. We can put up... I'll just put 2 points into logic. Fuck it.
The connection comes.
If I failed that,
like
I would have been so
splash of
sad.
Cold water. Dark, cold water. He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist behind the dark bend.
That bourgeois cow, Tiffin Holly was her name, licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation and money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker.
Bordering on sentimentality, it drips out of him, tempered by something familiar to you. A familiar rage.
What? Why mention Classe here? Doesn't sound like he liked her.
Called in, they say, on the eve of battle, ran away, vanished like a piss stain.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not. She couldn't make the call herself.
Here it is, the bend in the river.
Because she was dead. Because the cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal, grasping her tit, and drowned. Or bled. Hard to say. It was a sloppy job on a moving target. She was going home, waddling, dressed in yellow, drunk like she often was. The ruins are black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal, heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her and the ruins. Someone shot her, or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. All I know is...
Another big spike of rage, different from the one he has for her.
nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal. If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk. We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
A degenerate worker state. Go shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything. I saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years to end up as a collaborationist. I've heard it on Channel 8, 40 AM, Radio Revachol, late night. Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled.
Yeah, a lot's happened. I mean, not a lot has happened, but we've talked about a lot. This is the culprit. He's basically already confessed to everything. He's basically like, he's a deserter from like 40 years ago. He's been living on random islands ever since. And we were just hearing now that he also struck a deal with Edgar Evrar to essentially assassinate the previous Union leader. Edgar probably promised him that it would change things to lean more towards his political ideals, but instead Edgar and Evrar just took over, and so nothing changed. He shot the victim of this case, Supposedly because he just he liked the woman. Was just basically creeping on her. He created the peephole. I don't know.
There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody, and the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little nod to proceed.
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A Patank maniac race traitor. I remember him. I remember him from Lanos. Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one. That one. Fat and plump, like a pheasant, just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me.
He whispers with such predatory hunger, it borders on longing.
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bomb melt in my mouth.
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, Rene. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him there lately. Must be down with arthritis. Old cunt. Horse. Glad. It's all gone.
I want to look at his gun. Oh, can't actually look at it. Cool. Got one bullet.
The old man stares despondently at the logs.
Real music. Real brilliant kult. That's La Revacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites.
You need to address that remark.
The job of a shitlicker. It is the anthem of the world revolution. One of three. In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favorites of history. And in Sinyao, it was some Samaran shit, I guess. How did it go? Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's gone now.
Just to maybe provide some context for how long we've been talking to this guy. In game, I think we started talking to him before 11 a.m. So it's been over 2 hours in game.
He waves erratically with his hand, annoyed that he can't remember. A little tremor passes through him.
So there's been a lot.
Yes?
Oh, he doesn't have anything to say? I would have thought that he would have had something else to say.
The old man
Okay,
stares.
let's do it.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat. Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here, but...
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
La-di-da-di-da.
There it is again, to your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then... in
Just
the
barely
middle of
got it.
Something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and
Oh,
rushes.
yeah, and with all the various things that we've discussed with this guy, I've gotten so much EXP that I actually had 5 or 6 level ups. I've already spent points during this conversation, and I still have one left after burning those 2. It's been insane.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this... really us?
Your skin crawls.
No way! It's the bug! I never thought that would actually be relevant.
And legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What the fuck?
It's still there, an unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin, hovering in place.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make...
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If you can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
Suddenly this is a lot more important than arresting the dude, I guess.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you.
Well, this also tells me that the little traps that the cryptozoologists are putting out would definitely never have caught this thing.
Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss. like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower
Why is that an
pitch.
electrochemistry check?
Ch- 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 s- ch- 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 s.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open extremely carefully. It's the camera.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear. I am not palatable. Do not eat me. I am afraid. With the sound of metal sliding against metal, the lieutenant reveals the lens. The glass glints in his hand as he begins to slide in an ampoule. You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. The motions are quick, sudden.
Uh-oh.
The ampoule will produce a loud hiss. You're right. It could scare it away. I need a better moment when it's not looking.
I'll wait. I'm on standby, he thinks, his hands sweaty around the machine. The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly. The creature tilts its tiny head to the side and appears to look at you. It is incredibly light, like the slightest gust of wind should blow it away. But it doesn't.
We can't just leave it standing there. We have to do something, Detective. It could be...
Nothing changes. Its insect mind is impenetrable to your reasoning. A sudden chirp. Something in its body language has changed. Just slightly.
I mean, I don't have...
We can't just leave
Seriously?
it standing there.
I can't,
We
like,
have to do something,
click gear on?
Detective.
Fuck.
It could be connected somehow even.
This is my electrochemistry score right now. I'm pretty sure even if I put points in, like, my odds of passing this are very small. Oh well. Yeah. Should have just taken the photo.
You barely get to take one step. The invertebrate reacts with uncanny speed, skating away across the water. It's gone, like a skipping.
Where? Where did it go?
You never had a chance. There was something off the moment you approached it. It was scared of you, of humans. He shakes his head in silence, an expression on his face that you've never seen there before.
No.
However hard you squint, you can't make out anything recognizable, let alone a stick insect.
I tried, but it was moving too fast, and I didn't get the ampoule in right. And damn it, I believe my eyes. It was there. It appears the insect can walk on water, like a water strider, you know? It's almost as fast. Uncanny.
What now?
Our suspect's not looking so good. We should check him over. Also, it looks like it has some kind of nest there. Maybe there's proof in there.
In the reeds, where the phasmid was hiding, you see a little flash of white.
Porcelain.
White.
Armor? Oh shit.
Yes?
He doesn't have anything to say about that. Alright, I guess we're talking to this guy again.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
See.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking, like an addict of some terrible substance. A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling, and he breathes slowly.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
Like a drug? His pupils appear to be dilated. They still are. He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse. It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall. That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross.
No response.
Then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it. Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds? The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse. He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. They'll think we're insane.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
I lost.
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid. This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh. Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is. The last embers have gone out. The war is over.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here, if we don't take too long.
Apparently he was using this thing to, like, travel back to and from the island. It's broken now, but apparently it worked before. I'm not even really sure what it is. They just call it a rubber dinghy. The Return. I'm not resting.
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
No, an upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
It does. The RCM may descend from the ICM. It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking about politics.
Fucking
with blood dripping
politics.
down your thigh.
Why politics all the time? Normal right-wing police force. Oh my god. These are all ridiculous.
This is better preserved than the others. You can still read the sign.
They're all ridiculous.
The skiff is swaying on the way.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. Two men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village,
right.
looking at a
I
small
forgot they're
yellow
waiting
boat
for us.
as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
What new catastrophes waiting us now?
Look what the tide brought him. I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen.
Hello, Trent Heilerstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
Oh, Sunday friend. Wait, no. This is the guy who brings his kid to the electric building.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heiderstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you after pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us. We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
Ari, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets. Shit, kid. What an interesting moniker.
So many options.
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die.
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we?
I'm really tempted to use number 3. Yeah, fuck it. We'll just do it.
You were crying hysterically. You were drunk, breaking things, being emotionally abusive. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to.
Yes, I'm Tran Heilerstam. I never said I wasn't Tran Heilerstam. What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on. The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
And people on the street helped us too, with your whereabouts.
You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. A legendary local drunk. Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Tron fucking Heidelstown, and Guillaume baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Who's Guillaume Bevy?
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show. Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forcing him to stay.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
What?
See? There. He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm Jimmy.
Oh.
It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So not so much anymore. Do? It's a Major Crimes Unit. We cleared the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't...
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Detective God. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, e-solar, pal, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Why even ask socioeconomically?
Not when you phrase it like that. But I don't think critical theory.
I think I'm so poor I lost my memory.
Far-fetched pink academia, but still. I don't think it should be off the table here.
What? He lost his memory because of capitalism?
No, not like that. I'm not talking for Hedeford's cool here. But Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened?
He is. He's getting better. And I can confirm that he drank a lot of alcohol prior to it happening.
I believe he drank. People do that, especially this one. What they don't do is forget their whole life because of drinking.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked into that mural.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. The two cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case and the Next World mural. Those were recent. Those cases were hard on you.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world team, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input.
So there's also, by the way, guys, there's like a murder suspect dying on an island. We need to get him medical attention so we can arrest him. Like, I don't need a tribunal right now. We can do this later. But can you get someone?
Hardwired to the free market. We just need it for its end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Agreed, Harry. Just don't expect us to get you a disability pension. Cops who actually gave a shit are waiting in line. You're not gonna hog their seat. Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? I do. You drove it into the water. Everyone on the street saw you do it. It's going to be a local landmark too, on the brochure. Thank you for fucking us, Harry. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna get fired, and I'm gonna pay till I die. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips
Really?
out of your hand.
Really? I mean, fine. Failed it.
You juggle the badge for a second, unsuccessfully, and it lands on the ground, some 2 meters away. Ouch! You strained your elbow trying to catch that stupid thing.
Jesus.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements. What is it with all these material objects?
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. We're not talking about the fucking gun anymore. We're talking about the vaporized cloud of ethanol coming from your mouth. You were never supposed to lose it in the first place. Not lost is your gun's natural state, you drunk bum. Well, you let the suspect escape, classy as something, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the reports. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Sure, if it's part of your master plan. Let's not even get into the other suspect who also escaped. Another detail, or the fact that you very likely sold your gun for booze. That's peanuts. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
Here comes the cavalry.
He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot and survived only because of his armor. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
This is probably talking about the cryptozoology shit. Fucking stupid. Who cares about that fucking bug?
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides against it.
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Frétard Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. And he's been drinking on the job.
The man sighs deeply.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd.
You should yell something. Yes, let's let the big boys talk.
Other still, he is also a full-blown fascist, an ultra-nationalist, woman-hater, and more than a little racist. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, but he is vocal about both. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the constant smoking everywhere, all the time. But despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him anything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped working on the case. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect. 3 meters tall. It's on the island, camouflage as the reeds. It unfolded from them. I did not, unfortunately, get a photo, but I believe it may have been the Insulindian phasmid. I know this sounds fantastic, but I'm a 4 times decorated lieutenant of the RCM. I do not make up encounters with cryptids to spice up my day. I am very, very sane.
I don't doubt you, Lieutenant. If you say it was the Insulindian phasmid, then it was the Insulindian phasmid.
Boom, Jacques. What the fuck is this?
Lieutenant, is it somehow connected to the case?
Detective? The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
We could order a search. I could get people from EPIS on the island, entomologists, doctors. There must be signs of it in the reeds. If we found the Insulindian phasmid, well, that would be absolutely exceptional. The PR value alone.
There, you need to make your case now. The floor is all yours. He prepared it well.
So many options. Three is a good one. I think 3 is the only real good one. 7's like whatever. 2 is realistic, but like I don't feel like it stretches into new territory that well.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open, in Martinez,
Oh.
where Everard and
Okay,
Edgar have
fine,
ears
Kim.
everywhere.
Understood, of course.
But a case against Everard would be big.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first mention.
Well, we're back here. Might as well talk about some of the other things, I guess.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
We pretty much have it as 1. 3 is possible, but we don't know enough to say that for sure. 2 is just us twisting it into a political thing.
Jealousy. I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that. Way, way more.
But we still actually have no idea who she is. Who is she? Apricot smelling gum wrapper.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work. In bouts. Bouts don't last. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
God damn it. It is bad. Even you can smell it. Chin up. Keep focusing on the positives here.
I don't really care too much about the rest of these, but I'll just go through them anyway. Why not?
Female? What makes you think so?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates. Must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. It's a toughie that you don't have a photo. This would look very, very flashy in the papers. None of it says vigilante murderers to me at all. Great PR.
I tried to, but I only got a blur.
We can still work. Cop discovers new species in there. I know a good guy in La Majesté, but only after the École Supérieure people find it. This cannot be done by French people.
It needs to be white coats and glassware for this fly. We need professionals.
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still. Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
Yes, yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
I don't think 4 is even true. 6, I don't see how it's relevant, but I guess I'll
don't
say
know
it
what a
anyway.
doomed commercial area is.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't sound too important, since it's not connected to the cave or a giant living organism. I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude?
Honestly, anything that ends this trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are. The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but...
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair, your love of retro-style dance music, how you're able to perform a 360-degree spin kick.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then. Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue, the worn floorboards.
High school. Harry, your goings on with Kuno, Andre, Acel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries, and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Dora something. Dora England. Yeah, you mentioned the name.
Not Dora Dubois.
Something like that. Half Vazan. No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Engelund really tore you a new one. A big one. Incredibly bangable. Extremely fuckable, Harry. Gorgeous. A gorgeous bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Heartbreak Welkin. Pain Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is about to go down. It's time to go.
I think she taught in the academy.
It's only
down
3:30.
East of the river. Way east.
Sun
Hard to
goes
say
down at
which came
3:30?
first, the middle class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist? Go talk to that. No. You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
He would immediately backpedal out of it. I told you it's not that bad.
Who is Lena? Well, good luck finding her once we get back.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. I'm sure we'll find them. They should know as soon as possible, even if we didn't get a photo.
She is going to be over the moon.
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed, and everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good.
God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
He's anything but a loser. Although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the Force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up.
He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast. Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershore. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Huh? Are we suddenly like trying to poach him? Sure, why not?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering. Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Would fit in. Am crazy enough. Can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence. This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
Oh, that's an achievement. Recruit Detective Kim Kitsuragi, Precinct 57's finest. 18.2% of players have this achievement.
He's really considering it.
Just, that was just like a throwaway line too. Alright,
Good.
cool.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
The great district hums in the falling rain. A chessboard of wooden houses.
Whole
80,000
Jamrock map?
living
Maybe
souls,
Disco Elysium 2?
fighters as far as the eye can see.
Surely we're near
From
the end
Main
now.
Street to Grand Couronne, from Precinct 41 to Boogie Street, forking into the rain-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber.
Square bullet.
In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Dawson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmair? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn.
Did you just call him
Harry's our
Ptolemy?
man. He'll pull through.
It's just Ptolemy.
When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
What is this list? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Oh, he's helping us walk. Kim never helped us walk. He got up with his right leg first. Isn't that the injured leg? Alright, that's Act 2. Act 2 is done. Who's ready for Act 3? So there's an achievement for the pinball thing. I should have done that. There's an achievement for wearing all the pieces of armor, but I would have needed to get the boots to get that, I guess. Oh, there's an achievement for bothering Kim after we go to bed. Damn it. That would have been easy. And an achievement for getting with the hardcore dudes. Oh, apparently there's a hardcore mode. Apparently you can solve the case without even inspecting the body. The other achievements are mostly like, say things along a certain political alignment some number of times. So I wonder, I'm playing Disco Elysium the final cut, so I wonder what content was added or like uncut for this version of the game. Fuck you, Kuno. Oh, what? They didn't have voice acting in the original game? That is huge. Disco Elysium Final Cut differences. Introduction of voice acting. Holy shit, that's gigantic. I don't think I would have even like that's like half the reason this game is amazing. What? Oh, and streamer mode, which I have been playing this with on. Copyrighted music is replaced with not copyrighted music. And Twitch integration features, which I'm not playing this on Twitch, so couldn't use that anyway, but that's to let your viewers vote for dialogue options and vote to increase or decrease stats, which that sounds pretty chaotic. Increase or decrease stats, I should say. Performance gains. New problem-solving methods. Okay. Cool. Political vision quests. Oh, yeah, I was kind of all over the place, so I definitely didn't go that far. Oh, wait, you mean like I had that quest for make someone take on la responsabilité that I never really got anywhere with. Quests like that one, maybe? Well, that was cool. Now I have to think about what I'm going to stream next. It added fast travel? No, it didn't. Fast travel didn't exist. I used fast travel like a total of maybe 5 times across this entire playthrough because every other time I wanted to use it, I couldn't. Also, we never found the stronger crowbar. Yeah, I saw those about controller support, hardcore mode, and 4K, but like, sure, that's like pretty standard remaster type of feature adds. I'm sure technically it's a lot of effort, but like, when you're talking about features in a game, those kinds of things are not really worth mentioning. So I am still playing through Baldur's Gate 3 on my own. Having a lot of fun with that. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna play after that. After this, my current campaign in Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think I really want to do a third playthrough. I mean, part of me does, just because there's like story things I want to see, but there's also part of me that's like, I want to give the game a break a bit before I go back. Oh yeah, I have Dishonored 2. And there's Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. I never finished Hi-Fi Rush. Chained Echoes is also on the list of things to play this year. System Shock is also on the list of things to play this year. "2023 is just an insane year. Pretty sure Chained Echoes was like from March this year. Oh no, it was December of last year. Legend of Grimrock 2. I also have Harvestella. I was gifted it, but I'm not really sure if it's a game I'll like, but since I have it, I'll probably try it. What is its genre anyway? Legend of Grimrock 2. Oh yeah, there's also Grim Dawn. I need to go play that. Yeah, it looks like a dungeon crawler. Oh, that's it? It just ends like that? What's collage mode? Okay. And like put people out? So many characters. Oh, we never got to ask Lillian out! No! I fucked up! Shit! The game ended before I got to ask her out. No! Oh, yo. Look at this guy. It's incredible. Look how wealthy he is. He's so wealthy. He's got like the wealth aura. I wonder if there's anybody who is not affected by the wealth aura. If anyone is like super rich, who could it be? Surely not Bird's Nest Roy. Yeah, no. He's not that rich. He just runs a pawn shop. Maybe Lena's secretly super wealthy? Nope. Maybe Trant is secretly super wealthy? Nope, not even Trant. Oh, surely Dolores Day. What the? Wait. If they have a model for Dolores Day, that means like there's some place where we could have actually interacted with her. But apparently not even Dolores Day is immune to the effects of the wealth aura. Dolores Day is like their deity or something. Wait, Joyce is pretty rich, but not that rich apparently. Surely Evrar is rich enough. Nope. Maybe Classier is rich enough? Nope. There are definitely questions I have about this story, like, who even is Classier? Wider than normal? Wait, where'd I put him? Oh, there he is. I wonder if... do they have an Edgar? It's Evrar. No. I guess we only ever talk about Edgar, but we never actually see him. So can you have multiple of the same person? You can. So what is this? Oh, cool. And what is this? Place? How do I make it actually use the place? I don't know how to make it use the place. Oh, we can make them say whatever. Oh, apply. Apply yourself. Wow. This is crazy. Oh, we can turn those into like checks too. I guess this is just like sort of a sandboxy mode for people if they want to like make something cool, I guess. Oh, this place. This sort of thing isn't really my thing though. Oh. Wait, how do I leave? And then there's like, how do you even choose hardcore mode? Oh, it's right here. Tracks are harder, healing items are more expensive, but you get more EXP. I already feel like I was playing on hardcore mode just by choosing fucking what was it? Inland Empire as my start. Fuck Inland Empire. Yeah, well, that's it for this game, I guess. It was pretty fun. I'll have a think about what to play next. Hey, I also forgot about this. Dyslexic font. Wow. I'm not dyslexic though, so this just looks really weird to me. Good for people if it helps them. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna head off. See ya.